Hi, this is Brandon Feller, President of United Way of Delaware County, and joining me today is one of my favorite people, Paula Roller, who is Executive Director of Turning Point Domestic Violence Shelter. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Brandon. You're one of my favorite people, too.
That's good to know. Well, you've got a pretty important date coming up here at the end of the summer. You're going to be concluding your time with Turning Point and retiring. When will that happen?
Yep, August 31 is my target date, and I'm looking forward to it. Since all of the COVID-19 stuff happened, I've been working from home, like many people, since March. So I consider it kind of prelude to retirement. I was wondering how I was going to adjust. So I've been sliding into it with all of this working from home, and it'll make it a little easier to say goodbye.
Well, good transition, yeah. So
Yes.
How long have you been with the agency?
I will have been there 26 years this November.
Wow. So that's it's a long period of time. So what are some of the things that you've seen change in the domestic violence service provider industry and organizations and just with the demand as well for your programs over those 26 years?
Whoa, how long do you have,
Not
Brandon?
that long.
There's been a lot of changes. As far as big picture changes, there is such an increased awareness. And as an agent's, well, just an increased awareness. Domestic violence is kind of the behind closed doors type of crime, and it is a crime. And so oftentimes it would be, well, it's a he said, she said, and in the old days, the law enforcement would come and tell the abuser to take a walk, get out, cool down. And that has changed so much. We have strict laws around domestic violence. We have more tools available, protection orders, which are used. We've seen now you can even get a stalking protection order. So that means you can get a protection order against someone that you may not have had a relationship with, maybe just a one-time thing, maybe one date or whatever. So there's a lot of changes. They're for the good. We still have a long way to go. As far as Turning Point, we have seen tremendous growth in what we've been able to do with our agency to meet those needs and that increased awareness. So we have greatly increased our outreach program. And by that, I mean victim rights advocates, those folks who help you get a protection order, help you access attorneys who will take your case on a reduced fee or pro bono basis, access legal aid, accompany you to appointments, provide transportation. It's a really holistic approach. And this service is available whether you ever need or use shelter services at all. And of course, our shelter is the core of what we do, the ICU of our business. And we were able to move from a really crappy, if I may say so, old house built in the 20s here in Marion, where our shelter was. And we moved to a new location, a really nice building that was built as an assisted living facility. So being a residential facility, it met our needs, and we were able to move there in 2004, which was a big step up for a small private nonprofit. And of course, our next big accomplishment was opening a shelter in Delaware. So we now have 2 locations, and we were able to do that through the generosity of many donors. We don't even have a mortgage on that property in Delaware. And we did that because of the growth of population in Delaware County, and we're meeting the needs of the victims there and law enforcement and others who need that resource in their community. So we've had tremendous growth. We've got an awesome program in the schools talking to students about teen dating violence, what a healthy relationship looks like, sexting, all of those things. So we are trying to, as we say, we're a fire extinguisher. We want to be a smoke alarm. And we are working in our communities to help meet the needs as they arise. And I'm very proud of what we've accomplished over the years. And still there's lots more to go. We work with our state legislature as well as the federal level on improving the laws and the consequences for the crime of victims of domestic violence. So it's all good, lots happening, and there's always more to do, but you have to take a look and see how far we've come.
That's an excellent overview, because I think people see the shelter aspect of it, but they don't realize the advocacy that you do, the public policy pieces that you guys do, the education, awareness, and prevention. As you mentioned, wanting to be that smoke alarm first, and get to a place where maybe sometime, hopefully, you don't have to have a shelter. That's the goal, right?
It is the goal.
Is to prevent that in the first place.
That's right. We say the shelter is the ICU of our business. And truly, you have to be at a pretty low point to be able to be willing to leave your home and all your belongings and come to shelter. It is group living. Yeah, you may have your own bedroom and bathroom, but from there on, it is group living. So yes, that is our goal. But there are times shelter is needed. It's a safe place. So we are a safe house. So we'll probably always need to have that, but I hope we can do more prevention rather than reacting. I'd like to be proactive.
So over those 26 years, is there one thing that really stands out, or a number of things that stand out as things that you're very, very proud of, that you feel are a part of your life's work or your life's mission in this role?
Probably the Delaware shelter is, for years, and you know this, Brandon, I kept saying we really need a shelter in Delaware. I didn't have any idea how to go about it. And I guess the other thing is that I'm proud of is that we kind of ourselves came out from behind closed doors. I feel that more people are aware of Turning Point, who we are, what we do, that we have been out in the community with all of this great staff we have by expanding our victim rights services, getting into the schools, and just shedding a light on the issue. And I think when I look at our mission statement, it's about providing advocacy and counseling and support services for victims of domestic violence and their families. But the second portion of our mission statement is all about confronting the causes. And I really am proud of the fact that I can go places and people say, what do you do? And I say, I work for Turning Point. And they don't go, what? They know who we are. And I love that. I love that, because that's the only way we can move forward is if people are aware. So those two things, but if I had to pick one, I'd say the awareness and people knowing who we are. I'm really proud of that.
That's been great work, and been a long time coming, putting all that together. And I know when we started looking at that project 5-6 years ago, I think we both thought, okay, are we crazy, or can we actually do this? But it all came together with the help of so many great people.
Oh, so many people, including yourself, Brandon, including yourself.
It was my blessing to be a part of it, but so many people have made that happen, and we kind of thought, well, maybe we're crazy, but we're going to give it a shot. And sure enough, it paid off. Something that I became aware of, I've always known that you serve 6 counties, but that's kind of a misnomer, because you really serve anybody that presents. But you have been established in service of 6 counties, and just how far that reaches. And, I was driving up to the lake a couple of weeks ago and going through some of your counties, and I remember going through a county and saying, oh, this is one of Turning Point's counties, and man, this is a long way away.
Yeah, it is.
You have quite a territory.
Yes, we do. We have the largest territory of any shelter in Ohio. We serve the largest geographic area. But having a shelter is kind of like owning and operating your own hospital. It's very expensive. So that's why when we started over 40 years ago, the shelter located in Marion then served all the contiguous counties. But that's where they would come to shelter, and we have worked to have a presence, even though we may not have a shelter in the county, to have those victim rights advocates there, because we need to provide that service to those counties. But it is a very large geographic area, and I believe it's 365,000 square miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tremendous. Well, you guys have done great work. We're so thrilled to have you in the community in Delaware County, and to help be a part of making that happen. It's been so much fun for us. Is there anything on the horizon personally? What's Paula going to do after August?
That's a good question. A lot of people ask me that. And of course, my love is to travel. And I've been blessed to have some awesome trips that I've taken over the years, and I have more planned. Of course, that's all on hold because of everything going on right now. But I have 9 grandchildren, and I'm very eager to be able to spend more time with them. They're kind of scattered around. So depending on how the COVID virus goes, those are my plans. But I love plants and flowers. I love to read. And I do have family and friends. So I am not at all worried about keeping busy and entertained. And I don't want to just go away. I love Delaware, I love Marion, I love all my counties and the communities, and I still want to do whatever I can to help them in whatever capacity, not in the capacity that I'm in now, but I still have a heart for making sure that they're safe, healthy communities for our children and grandchildren going forward. So I'll always be around. I'm not going anywhere. But I hope to, I think the big thing is about retiring is not to have the pressure, not to have the responsibility. I love the work, love the people, love working with you, Brandon, and I could stay forever. But with it comes a lot of responsibility. And I'm ready to get out from under that mantle and let somebody else handle that.
Well, you certainly deserve it. And we thank you so much for all that you've given to the region, and all that you've done to build up Turning Point and to be there for those who have experienced domestic violence. And so we say thank you so much. And again, thank you for joining me today and sharing a little bit about your upcoming retirement and the history of Turning Point.
Well, it's been a labor of love, that's for sure.
All right. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.